I think we should talk about our migrant crisis, and hilariously, Donald Trump, who, as you know, part of his election pledge was to deport as many as 20 million illegal immigrants in America. And he apparently he's deputed his team to look very, very closely at Britain's migrant crisis as the perfect reverse barometer. So America is studying our migrant crisis as the exact way of how not to do it. I mean, that's what they're looking at. Have a look at the British migrant crisis, see what they're doing, and let's just do the opposite. This comes on the back of revelations, Russell, that the migrants now are doing a kind of TripAdvisor service, whereby they're recording what they think of various people smuggling services, the boats and everything. Nice boat, yes, and left bang on time, and pretty quick journey. We're in Dover within 2.5 hours. Lovely, enjoying life in Britain very much. Excellent service. You know, 4 stars.
Yeah, it's like a bit like the Booking.com thing that you get after staying somewhere. They ask you to tick a load of boxes.
It's a trip. It literally is a trip. Well, it's not TripAdvisor, but it is a TripAdvisor style service whereby migrants who want to illegally cross the channel can go to this webpage, can look it up and say, yeah, I found that these people smugglers were extremely efficient, gave me a good service, excellent value for money. So they're actually going through TripAdvisor style recogmendations to find out which people smugglers they're going to use. Yeah, unbelievable.
This is an extension from some of these TikTok things you see where these migrants, as they're landing at Dover or as they're in the coaches on the way to their 4-star hotel with their kind of pizza in hand and a new iPhone 15 in a box that's just been given to them. They do these TikTok things saying, this is wonderful, we're here in Britain, and the old saying, everything is free. You hear that a lot on these TikTok things. This is just an extension of that. They're taking the mickey out of us.
Yeah. And you're right, everything is free. I mean, I'm always saying to my audience, till I'm blue in the face, they get here, we give them free hotels, we give them free food, we give them 45 quid a week, free money, we give them free dentists, free doctors, NHS, and of course free lawyers to fight their case to be able to stay here.
Hundreds of millions of pounds last year we spent.
Yeah. Well, I worked
on legal aid for asylum seekers.
We're spending it's billions and billions of pounds every year on all of this, and meanwhile the trade in bringing migrants across the channel illegally is so efficient, is so booming that there's a TripAdvisor recommendation site where wannabe migrants can look up their favourite service to use. I mean,
but what an international embarrassment this country has become. Bear in mind, we used to be called Great Britain. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was a long, long time ago, I'm afraid, politically, where the likes of Donald Trump, who's really kind of grabbed America by the scruff of the neck, or intends to after his inauguration, fancy having to say to his cabinet and his civil servants, right, go and have a look at what's happening in Britain, go and watch their news, their YouTube, have a look at some of their political commentators on Twitter, maybe he'll send a few people over here, send them down to Dover, to demonstrate how not to run an immigration policy. How, frankly, incredibly, completely and utterly embarrassing.
Yeah. Trump's saying to his people, check out Britain, look at exactly what they're doing and do the precise opposite. Because Britain is a reverse barometer for how not to handle a migrant crisis. No deterrence, just welcoming everyone here. They haven't come across for a few days now because the weather hasn't been very good. That's the only reason. The only thing that stops our migrants coming over at the rate of 200 to 300 every day is the weather.
Storm Bert.
Yeah, Storm Bert.
Done more for the immigration crisis in 5 days than Starmer's done in 5 months.
Why don't you have a word with Storm Bert? He knows how to stop the migrant crisis. But you Kev, clearly don't.
But Kev, it's not just America that is now going to tackle this problem. Are we under any illusion? There's no doubt at all that Trump is going to solve this, right, in America, given that they've had over the last 5 years, I think, 10 million illegal migrants cross the border.
Yeah.
But we know that we've got Italy, Hungary, Poland, Greece, all of our European neighbours, those that were supposed to be very, very migrant friendly, they're now turning their backs on migration. They're stopping benefits, they're stopping people at the border, they're repatriating, they're moving people out of their countries, deporting them. We are the only ones, it seems. I mean, Ireland, a case in point. All of these, formerly left-leaning, woke, liberal societies with, these people, these idiots with these all refugees are welcome signs, they're all turning the tables on these migrants. We're the only country, it seems now, in the world that is not doing anything about this crisis.
Exactly right. And Elon Musk, who's now glories under his new job title, the First Buddy, America's First Buddy. I mean, he continues to be at war with Keir Starmer, with this Labour government. And when Musk is at war with this Labour government, that means Donald Trump is. Don't you believe all this nonsense? We're going to talk about what they're doing in the Chagos Islands. Labour people are out there right now negotiating those islands away against the express
to try and expedite it before Trump comes in.
The express wishes of the president-elect. Starmer and that bunch of idiots, wide-eyed idiots in the cabinet, they believe that Trump's inherent affection for Britain, and he does have an affection for Britain. His mother was Scottish. He owns property in the golf courses over here. He loves it here.
As does Musk.
But they believe that his affection for Britain means he'll always be nice to us, and that we'll get a special deal and the special relationship will prosper. It will blossom. Well, no.
Yeah.
No, let me tell you, Donald Trump is noticing all this. Elon Musk is noticing all this, and particularly in the Chagos Islands, Starmer and his stupefyingly useless crew are busy wrecking the special relationship. They really are.
Can I give you a very annoying stat before I finish?
Yeah, please.
So far this year, about 30,000 illegal economic migrants, because that's what most of them are. They're not really asylum seekers, they're economic migrants. About 30,000 have come over on small boats illegally. The last time this country was invaded was by the Normans in 1066 by only 8,000 people.
Is that right? Is that right? Yeah, I mean, they've been coming across pretty regularly. I mean, the kind of low-level amount per day is about 200, 300. Weekends, I've noticed there's been a few 500s on a Saturday. As I say, the weather recently has calmed it all down. Thank God for Storm Bert. Not for everyone, of course. It was pretty damaging. I don't mean that facetiously, but Storm Bert did at least stop the migrants. So what do you think, folks? How are we going to stop this migrant crisis? Isn't it embarrassing that America is now looking at Britain as a reverse barometer? What not to do to solve a migrant crisis? Pathetic, isn't it?